Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Customs, and this is part 7 of Super Custom Mashup. Now, as I talked back before with this Dazzler, I wanted to make sure that I could do the power trails on her hands or some kind of powers coming out of her hand, but then I was coming up with some ideas. She's been kind of shelved for a while. I've been trying to think of what I wanted to do, so one day I decided to drill out each hand and put a magnet, and I put a magnet in this little glop of resin, Aves, and then this one up here. So as you can see, there's a magnet in the hand. It's kind of there, but with some paint it'll be kind of hidden, but it's the best I could come up with, and this fits into the hand. So what I got that so far, and I was thinking of like, well, I could put one kind of power trail here and another one kind of there, but I thought, wouldn't it be kind of cool if I could have some kind of power thing going from the hand? So basically you magnetize it and it pops out. So what I'm going to do is I got this little copper bar, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bend it and give myself a little bit kind of a warping thing. So it'll attach to this and attach to that. And then from there, I got these little pieces that I can attach on. And I could do some kind of like cool little like, you know, crazy power trail type thing that it goes to her hand. So this way, it magnetizes in and out, and you know, you could display her with the power trail or without the power trail. And that's kind of like the whole thing with her. And I wanted a little bit more than just like a little glop of power here and a little glop of power. So this way, it looks like she's got some kind of dazzling thing going around her. It's going to require some work. It's going to require some, you know, a lot of magic sculpt to get the power stuff, because I got to make sure it's secured. So I can't just put, you know, like resin and then try to pop in and out with it snapping. So actually, even though I have this bar here, I might need a thicker one just to be on the safe side. So it's going to require a little bit of tweaking at first, but once I get that main piece going from here, I could start connecting everything else, and I could kind of have like a little power thing in front of her. So I think it'd be kind of cool, and it'd be kind of fun to do. This way it's something a little bit different and just having fun with it. So it's something that I don't, you know, like if you were going to be a company and you got to do some kind of production value with it, you can't really come up with this type of idea, because to produce like 1,000 of them, what I'm thinking of would be kind of almost impossible. But since it's one of a kind, I can get away with it and have fun. So once I get the whole bar and the whole kind of thing set up, we'll come back and I'll show you how I start attaching everything and making sure it's secured. Alright guys, so as you can see, what I'm doing is every night and every day that I have some extra A's, before I let it sit there and throw it into a ball and throw it into the cup of like extra A's for when I make generic bases, I figured let me have some fun and start making like a power trail. So what I did was I attached the big bar going across here, and I used A's, Magic Sculpt. I threw another bar, some metal hoops. I'm just kind of having fun with it at the moment. Looks really weird. It's like, what the hell are you doing? It's just looking off, but I think once I keep adding some more and I have some fun with it, and then at the end when I smooth it all out and then I chrome it, I think it'll work out as a cool power trail and be fun. But the fun thing about it is it's kind of like, you know, she got her hand here and then she's throwing her left hand over there like the power's coming out. And the cool thing about it is, you know, this is the first time I'm doing something like this. You know, if it doesn't work, you can kind of just take it out and you don't have to display her with the power trail. So you got an option with the power trail, without it, just having fun with it. So, you know, this is just a way of coming up with something, experimenting, learning new tips and tricks, and not wasting A's at the end of the night just by using it for generic bases when I can kind of just slap it on here and have fun. Now, it is a little bit messy around here and it's kind of not even and stuff, but at the end, when I'm like kind of liking where it's at, if it's working out with the way I want it to work out, and if I don't have to break or snap anything, I'll start smoothing all that stuff out, whether drilling, sanding, adding more Magic Sculpt or A's, and just have fun with it. But I'm trying to make sure it's secured, so this way, you know, if you pop it in and out, it doesn't snap or anything, because that's why I'm using the metal bars and everything, the copper bars, brass and everything, so it's secure. Because if you just use A's or Magic Sculpt, you can snap it real quick. But that's what I'm coming up with and just having fun with it. So we'll just keep working at it and going from there. Okay guys, we're back, and now I'm at the point of fine-tuning her and getting her ready for paint. So I actually lost some footage on building up her little power trail. I don't know what the hell happened. I was doing you know, videos of bit by bit of how I, you know, added the pieces and I used the A's and I added hooks, but something happened where I lost the videos. I must have just deleted them, or they never uploaded correctly and they're just not in the folders. But anyway, so we can see where she's at now. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to chrome it out, and then I'm going to add some colors and gems to the power trail and everything. So it's kind of like just, I had fun with it. I didn't really think about it. I really didn't try to go too crazy and everything. I just wanted to have some fun. So this is what I came up with. So I figure once I chrome it all out, I can add some color, but I also got some like gems I can kind of glue onto it and make it look like, you know, some kind of crazy power trail. But like I said, you know, in the beginning it's magnetized so it could come in and out. What I'm going to have to do is once I actually start painting up the blue, I'm going to have to get enamel blue paint, and I'm going to have to just enamel blue here first and blue here first. So this way, the idea is just to give it like some you know, like a candy shell where it's tough. So this way, if you're actually going to pop this in and out, if it makes any kind of a mark, so it doesn't go in there and pull up and you see the primer. The enamel paint's very thick, secured, and it's got enough toughness to it where it's got some leeway. So that's kind of what I'm going to do with that. But what I like to do though is when I'm at this phase is I like to give a skin coat, and I like to see if I can find any errors that I can't see with primer, and sometimes that happens. So I had to sand up around there, around the neck, or a little bit around there. Sanded back here, behind her neck here, and a little bit over here and under the armpit. So that's kind of what I like to do with the skin tones, is always when I'm going to do skin tones first, I really like to make sure I'm getting in there and I'm finding any errors, because it really sucks trying to paint it up and all of a sudden you see like some scratch marks, or you see some glopped up aves that I might have touched, or resin or anything, blah blah blah, stuff like that. I also do it with the blue outfit as well. Once I do the skins, I mask it off, do the blue outfit in one basic coat. If I see anything, I sand it down, and then I finish it up. But that's where we're at. So I'm probably going to work on the skin tones first, get that going, and we'll do a little bit of the video of, you know, the progress and everything, and then I'll go back, and then once I start chroming everything up and I start adding all the gems and everything, we'll go back to that. So that's where we're at, and let's just keep going. Okay, so I got the skin tones all done, and what I like to do is just use Garage Kit's Flesh Tone with Garage Kit's Transparent Pale Flesh, some Burnt Sienna Hue that I don't make anymore, and any other colors that I like to mix into them. But I don't really do any blues, reds, or greens into skins because I like to keep it more of the comic book feel. So right now the character looks like an alien. It looks off. It doesn't look correct. But that's because once you add in the eyes, the pupils, the lipstick, eyebrows, eyelashes, hair, outfit, that's when everything comes together. So at this point in the game, you got to make sure you don't overblend, overshadow. You kind of want to just keep it fair skin. If you know you're running into a point where you don't know what's going to happen and you're a little bit, you know, confused, you can just take a blue bottle or some blue paint and put it next to the skin tone. You can say, oh, okay, I like the way it's looking. You know, if you, you know, I think, what is this, she blonde? If you think, you know, you want to see what it would look like next to yellow, you could kind of just throw a bottle there. Just gives you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. At least that's what I like to do. So right now the next step is I'm going to add a little bit of purple to the eyeshadow. Not much, because I used to actually blend a lot with the airbrush, but now I'm using more women's makeup, and then I seal it at the end for the whole eyeshadow thing, because I like to get some like different grades and colors into there. So right now I'll just add a little bit of purple, not much. For blush, I actually use women's makeup for the blush, so we'll kind of get set up and I'll show you some of the stuff that I'm doing there. But right now, this is where I'm at. So we'll be back with some more. Alright, so as you can see, I have all the palette here I got off eBay, and I got a lot of these little things, and I got this little thing of blush. So I have a brush here dedicated to just blush only. So you just dab it on there, throw a little bit right there, grab the statue, and you can just add a little bit of a blush. And then you can do the same thing for this side. So the little blush comes out a little bit better and all that. So then I also have these pieces. You can get these off of eBay. They're like little eyeshadow type things. You can buy like 500 of them for like $4. I got tons of these things. So what I like to do is you grab your colors and you can do specific spots in there. So what we'll do is I'll set up a little bit, get a little bit closer, and we can do some of the eyeshadow. Okay, so what I do is take a little bit here, just make sure I don't have too much on her, and just start And take a lighter color. And just start slowly building it up. Now if I wanted to add any type of blues in, I could grab a blue. And just slowly build up. Now you have to use Tester's dull coat with this through the airbrush afterwards, because if you use a spray can, it's too watery and it just kind of bleeds all the pastels, whether you use pastels or what, if you spray close or too far away. But so what I'll do is I'll just start building it up, and I'll just do my thing. We'll come back and we'll show you the final result, because it's kind of hard to try to work with this with the camera in the way. But as you can see, it's just a matter of slowly building it up using all these different pastels and stuff, and just getting the color you want. The good thing about this stuff is if you're doing purples and you're not really liking the purple too much, you can kind of start blending it out with a green or a red or a blue, depending on what you want to go for. So we'll just slowly, I'll just slowly build all this out, and we'll come back, we'll show you the final thing. Alright guys, next step is the pupils in the eyes. So I usually like to use the Archer Transfer eyes. I have the superhero eye set that I helped design. And just to make sure on every character that I work on is I always go to the Marvel Stats website or DC or whoever character I'm working on to make sure I get the right color eyes. I know sometimes companies they do the wrong color eyes, or they do the right color eyes but the factory does the wrong color, or even though the factory does the color, it's kind of like a really off color. So I looked online and she has blue eyes. So I got my set here with a lot of the blue eyes. Make sure I got a nice sharp X-Acto, and I will put the eyes and we'll come back once it's done. It's pretty much simple. I did a video on how to do eyes. I linked that in here. And just get this done, and then we just keep plugging along getting her done. Okay guys, so what I did is I did the lips and got the pupils in, and everything's looking pretty good. I had to seal up the lips, so I glossed them a lot. Pretty much masked off the lips and then sprayed it with an airbrush Future 4 polish. And next step is I'm going to do the eyelashes, kind of watercolor in the eyebrows, but then once I get the watercolored eyebrows in, it's just I do it very light so I know where I'm going to go with them, and then I actually paint them in, because it's easier that way. Because if you try to paint them in from scratch, it just, if you mess up, you're screwed. At least with the watercolor you can wash it off. But I'm liking the way she's looking pretty good. I went with more of a pink lips because I didn't want to go too red, so I just went with a flat red around the lips with watercolor, and then I used white and I kind of pinked them up a little bit just to give her, you know, softer lips than like crazy darker lips on her. So that's where I'm at now. So we'll let this sit and dry, then I'll work out the eyebrows, eyelashes, and then I'll start doing line work around all the hair, the bandana. I'll do all the blue lines going around the edges of the outfit. And I picked up a can of enamel car paint blue, so what I'll do is I'll just spray some blue around here, and I'll spray some blue under here just to give that thickness and protecting. So that's where we're at. Looking good so far. I'm happy with it, and we'll be back with more.